All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take 3 Wrestling Podcast coming to you on April 7th, but it's going to be the 8th by the time this thing drops. I'm your host, Earnest Christian, alongside Black guy number 1 on my right, Black guy number 2 on the top, Jimmy, Mike, Joe, not yet. Mike, what's up the face?
That!
Thank you.
I just want to know what the fuck this, welcome to the show
Fake
thing
news,
that you're doing.
Fake news.
I'm like
Jim's hero, by the way.
what are we doing over here?
Don't be rude.
I don't know Mike's on. So.
Oh, hey, by the way, Rick O'Shea.
Ah.
Still a dick.
He's still also IC champion, buddy.
Well, that's because he didn't fight at WrestleMania. See, he's not even on the commemorative cup, and he's a champion.
Well, it's because he didn't wrestle at WrestleMania.
So
you can get that Rick O'Shea shirt over at tpublic.com/user/3count Thursday.
Well,
merchandising.
There it is.
I love that. Soundbite. Fucking Mel Brooks, dude, the best. Anyway, Mike. So Joe's not here. You're a short partner.
Mm-hmm.
How did you enjoy WrestleMania in person for 11 straight time, not including the pandemic, of course?
So as I'm drinking out of the WrestleMania cup that says
right.
The most stupendous 2-night event, they actually got that one right. I think this was the most stupendous 2-night event in WrestleMania history, if not potentially wrestling history. I know that Wrestle Kingdom has been pretty good, with their 2-night stuff, but this one was good. There were a couple of duds, like always. You have your duds. I don't like a couple things from night one, like booking 3 duds in a row, and then basically roaring to a finish, with the exception of the Ronda Rousey Charlotte Flair match, which was somewhere between hot and garbage, and I think that's disrespectful to hot garbage. So,
it was that bad, huh?
Buddy, that match was awesome.
I didn't hate the match.
When you're talking they booked 3 duds in a row, I'm assuming you're talking about the first 3 matches, right?
Correct.
Okay. I think the first one would have been fine if Boogs doesn't blow his knee out.
Correct.
I think that McIntyre Corbin, and it sounds funny because it was only 8 minutes and 35 seconds, but I think that match would have been significantly shorter if Boogs doesn't blow his knee out. Because I think that the opener was going to go for a while. And I'm going to call foul on The Miz and Logan Paul. Was it a WrestleMania Classic? No. But give Logan Paul credit, man. Give fucking Logan Paul credit. I want Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny this year in WrestleMania. Not you don't even take the WrestleMania next year. I want to see Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny in the best celebrity in the last 2 years bit.
See, here's where I'm at. Boogs getting hurt you're here, and then you start this slow decline upward with McIntyre and Corbin, and then you get up to the peak of the duds for the first hour. If you move those matches around, if Boogs and Nakamura open against the Usos, then you give me one of the other main matches, and then you go to the Corbin McIntyre bullshit, and then you give me another good match, and then you put Logan Paul and The Miz there, and at the 2-hour mark, I'm okay. It's the problem of it being back to back to back.
Yeah, night one, and again, I think the opening 2 would have been a lot different if the injury doesn't happen. But I will agree there that night 1 could and should have been laid out a little bit better. I'll agree with you there.
That's why I say 3 duds in a row, is because probably the worst 3 matches, not named Charlotte Ronda, were the first hour of the show.
And I get it. You don't want to put the women on first. They're not a main eventing, and people, even though I think people lose sight of the number 1 spot being a good spot because you set the tone for the night. Look at Brett and Owen in WrestleMania 10. I mean, that was besides the ladder match, which is the first time you ever saw that. That's your best match of the night, and I thought it set a good tone. But I get people getting their feelings about it, and the Cody return could have been great in the number one spot, but because it's still light out, you lose some of the effect. So you can't do that in the number one spot. So the WWE is kind of hamstrung a little bit, and I like the idea of doing the tag thing. And again, just the unfortunate situation of Boogs knee exploding.
The only route I may have gone differently is I would have actually probably have opened with Bianca and Becky, because I would have tried to put as much distance in between that match and the dumpster fire that was the SmackDown Women's title.
Sure. I'm with you. To me, that should have been the open.
I agree 100%.
But people, for whatever reason, people think that the number one spot, it's like being buried, quote unquote. People look at the number one spot as a bad thing. People are dumb. Like the number one spot is the second. Austin has said it numerous times in interviews. If I'm not last, I want to be first. I want to set that bar.
I either want to be the first thing they see or the last thing they see.
Look at Rollins and Lesnar.
Not 2022.
Like, look at Rollins and Lesnar at 35. That pace, like that being on first. First off, credit to Lesnar. Really, if you believe the story, like that was Lesnar's call. They were supposed to be in the middle of the call, and he's like, "Nope, fuck that. Put us on first. This is going to be a banger." And it was, and it set a tone for what was a really good Mania. It just ended 3 hours ago, WrestleMania 35, but it was a good Mania.
Correct. What I will say, I mean,
wait, hold on. Hi, Joe. Maybe let's be rude to Joe here. Hi, Joe.
He's
muted. I
muted.
can't hear you. You're muted, buddy.
He's muted.
I said, what are you talking about? I've been here the whole time.
No, but you didn't say hi, anybody.
Literally, what are you talking about? We had a whole picture at the beginning of this.
Acknowledge you.
Oh, come on. You literally don't remember 5 minutes ago when I was like, oh, look, it's Ernest. It looks like his neck is blowing a poop bubble. Like, come on. That's a whole conversation that we had, and you're just going to act like that didn't even happen? You know, gaslighting's not okay, Ernest. It's just not okay.
Joe, you know what? Joe, buck yourself.
Don't.
Joe Buck yourself? I like Joe Buck. What's your problem with Joe Buck?
I love Joe Buck. Are you kidding me? It's the assholes around us that don't like Joe Buck. I love Joe Buck.
Well, then you, sir, need to be surrounded by different assholes.
I agree.
Joe Buck yourself.
So look at that.
The only problem there, Mike, is I think the head's too small.
I agree.
I would agree with that.
Great representation of the lack of neck width of that Ernest has.
What happened next, dude?
All right, yeah. So that was night one. Night two, the Joe sleep counter was at 0. He didn't fall asleep at all.
I'm so proud of you, Joe. I'm so proud of you, man. Round of applause.
I'm proud of me as well. I did not think that I would actually pull that off.
Another favorite part of the weekend was the tour we got to take of the Frisco Rough Rider Stadium, because I spent a lot of money in their team store. That was cool.
Yep.
And
I can't deny it. We some Rough Riders.
I got 2 mini title belts.
You'd get that reference.
No, he wouldn't.
Now go fuck yourself now.
Hey, it's not my fault that your credit's good.
Hey. It's really not, though, but okay.
Wow.
It's work its way up again, though. Continue.
I love that for you. Just give it some Blue Chew.
Cialis, motherfucker. Per our conversation today on the chat.
I thought you were talking about a conversation with your wife.
Yeah.
He's talking about his favorite football team, the Cialis Seahawks.
I like that.
That's pretty
good.
Night 2, just like you were saying.
I bought a mini title belt or 2 before night 2. That was fun.
Really?
Wait.
How much money did you spend on?
I'm going to intervene here, and Carol would be very proud of me. Who bought?
My mom did for me.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. You were
Father's Day present. The first one was a casualty of war. The second one, Mama.
What was really cool is that second one, they only made like 500, and you got the third
To last.
Yeah, like the third to last one.
So this isn't the actual review of the show, is it?
Oh, we can make it the review of the show. We can.
Do you want the entire card, or just go to the stuff that actually matters?
I don't care. I just wanted to get my title belts.
Oh, that's so cool.
That one is awesome.
I don't think there's any reason to go over the entire card. If people are here, they've already watched WrestleMania. They know, like I think giving your thoughts on the biggest match moment, what banged, what didn't bang, and there was more that banged that didn't.
To me, it goes. And you probably read it off on the on 3 counts tonight when question of the week. It was Austin for me, dude. It was Austin. It was Austin all the way through. It was Austin twice.
That's
Double
badass,
shot
Mike.
Austin. I mean, what? Oh, I like that. Ooh, Wing Eagle.
See, I can tell you.
Eggplant emoji.
Sorry about that. Matt Riddle came over. Anyway, I can tell you.
Rob Van Dam.
Yes, I can tell you that my whole topic tonight is basically based on my thoughts of WrestleMania, because my topic is, what do they do to make next year's WrestleMania special? Because I love this year's WrestleMania, but every special moment was either a debut or a callback or something like that. The kind of well that you're not getting to go to every single year. You're gonna run out of well water.
Sure.
So night one was. I mean, obviously the highlight of night one was. I mean, Cody obviously, was what. I mean, if you follow the dirt sheets, we knew he was coming at some point next.
Okay, so I love the Cody moment. The Cody moment might arguably be my second favorite live moment that I've ever seen at a WrestleMania. Nothing's probably ever going to surpass the Seth Rollins cash-in at 31.
Of course.
I was gonna say, what's number one? And that's a banger.
So I'm someone who, when I go to wrestling shows, and Mike can attest to this almost more than anybody else,
Probably.
I don't actually react very much. I'm actually very kind of reserved and to myself.
Really?
Like, I'll clap and
You're that man. You're boring as shit.
Dude, that's how Ryan is.
You're fucking bougie, buddy.
I'm not gonna like jump up and down, get super excited. Like, if I'm super into something, I'm like that person who you say a joke to and they're just like, that's funny, as opposed to actually laughing. That's
I'm
kind of how wrestling shows.
Mike, you saw we went to Dynamite last year, and when fucking Malachi came out, I fucking freaked.
Yeah. So
For those of you watching at home, I just gave you a quick review of the WrestleMania belt while Joe was talking.
Yeah, I'm him.
So
I like
here's-
the box too.
Fucking child here, buddy. Look at this shit.
But here's my thing.
All
So
the toys and
the
shit.
Seth Rollins
Really?
moment, I actually jumped up and down.
Did you
Seth
really?
Rollins moment actually got me to that level of, oh shit, oh my God, this is a thing. So that will forever be the moment. I don't know that anything will ever surpass that. I got goosebumps with Cody Rhodes. When his music hit, the goosebumps were there. The feeling was real. I was excited to be there. I got the whole thing on video. Like, it's like a 5-minute long video in my phone that I'm probably never going to delete, but I can't post it anywhere because
On YouTube.
legal reasons / it just won't fit on like.
Buddy, I went live for Austin coming out, and like 3 people joined the live, and it won't post the video on Facebook because WWE owns whatever and blocked the video.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Snap block.
They did their fucking homework. Damn. Vince. God damn, dude.
The Cody return is, I mean, like, the WWE just released the 38 best WrestleMania moments.
What's going on here?
The other week, the Cody return is
Top 10.
is easily in the top 10. Like, and don't get me wrong, I think the WWE's list is definitely
Biased.
gimmicked up to push certain things higher, whatever. But like, that Cody return it was so good.
Yeah, like, I'm sure right now the Hardy Brothers return isn't making the WWE list, but that's probably a good like top 15 moment.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly
That's a badass hat.
Look, a fat leprechaun, Mike.
It's the Fresno queso.
But man, dude, like, because like, and what was hilarious on our end, so the 3 count guys, we all went to Matt's house. We watched it all together.
You made his fridge, all the beer and shit.
Fucking yeah, we did.
I'm pretty sure, by the way, dude.
So
Ernest just called Mike a fat leprechaun, and all I keep thinking to myself is, "Stay away from me, Lucky Charms." Because that's what a fat leprechaun would say. Why?
You just mix the Cookie Monster and fucking.
Dude, three-fourths of the voices I do are just Cookie Monster saying things that the other person would say.
Hi, Cookie. I'm JC.
What the hell is even that?
But so after Mark from Texas gave his 45-minute testimony Friday night live on Peacock.
Didn't watch that, by the way.
And he put the trench coat and the hat back on and never say never. Tim was convinced that it was going to be Taker on Saturday versus
I thought it would be too.
So like the whole ride over, the whole afternoon, he's like, fuck, it's going to be Taker. It's going to be Taker. It's going to be Taker. Like he is full on convinced that it is going to be the Undertaker in the Seth Rollins match. Even to the point where like when the lights went out, like he's like, oh, it's gonna be fucking Taker. Like he was so pissed, and I'm just like, give me the sounder, give me the fucking sounder. Hit me with that. Wrestling only has more than one royal family, and like because we're all reacting to it in the moment, you could hear like the whisper.
I didn't hear it in the arena.
Ryan thought it was Bray Wyatt.
I said that could be a possibility.
So when we were driving over, I said that there was a 0.0% chance that it was Taker. Never say never means never say never a couple years down the road. There was no chance he was.
Give me that Saudi back. I saw somebody.
Okay, wait. Jim, give me that 0.0 real quick.
I saw somebody tweet it on
0.0.
I saw somebody tweet Friday night. He's like, never say never, but that Saudi bag hits different.
It's true though.
It is true. Ask Shawn Michaels about it. But like,
buddy, they're still trying to get Chris Bowflex to come over.
Jesus.
I don't understand though. If they paid Shawn Michaels so much,
What?
If they paid Shawn Michaels so much, he can afford a good dentist. So like,
It's true.
He could also afford fucking some eye surgery, but whatever, man.
He can also afford a fucking good wig, so he doesn't have to come out bald. But here we are. But like, yeah. So Ryan, when you heard the whisper, like thought it was Bray, and I couldn't make out what it said. But then, of course, when the music hit, and it was just like, this is fucking awesome. And I've seen a lot of people say like, with that entrance alone, WWE made Cody a bigger star than he ever was made in AEW. I'm like, I see what people are saying. Cody was a bigger star in WWE before AEW even started than he was ever in AEW. The reason he was a big deal by starting AEW is because of where he was before and because of what his name is. But I get what they mean. Like the lights, the screen, like the biggest WrestleMania logo of all time.
Yep.
The lights, the presentation, the promo, like they had more pyro in like the first batch of pyro than AEW's had in their 3 year of existence.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I get what people are saying. It's this grandiose presentation that already makes Cody look like a more important deal. And guess what? Obviously, we're looking at it in hindsight, but he's already has his fucking target set on the tribal chief. An opportunity he never got in AEW by their own booking. So he like that to me is absolute tops of night one. The Austin stuff was fucking fantastic, but like Cody stuff just hits down.
Well, to me, the Cody thing was not a surprise. I mean, I said that it was a 98.6% chance of him coming out there against Seth. It was to me what got me was the execution. The
Yes.
execution was
Perfect.
And it had me missing him in AEW. It really did. I was like, oh man, he's really here, and I'm happy for the guy, for the record, and I'm sure they'll book him as good as you can, at least starting out. But yeah, the execution was fantastic. Like he looks
so since you miss him so much in AEW, you fucking Mark.
Yeah, factual.
What could AEW have done more with him? They booked themselves into a fucking corner the day they fucking started the company by having him lose a fucking match that he should.
Which I hated. I mean, we discussed in the podcast 2 years ago. We hated it.
So again, you miss him. You miss him in a place where there was nothing for him to do.
No. Again, I'm not saying that. Look, I thought it had been booked properly in that same way.
The only thing that Cody could have done as part of AEW/ROH would have been show up at Supercard and help Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt take out fucking Gresham, leading to the return of Samoa Joe that actually happened.
Let me clarify real quick. He made the right decision. There is space for him now to flourish in a big way. And as we said before, leading up, beyond the rumors of him when he left AEW.
Can we also not forget the fact that he was a fucking great fucking heel when he was the Intercontinental Champion as Dashing Cody Rhodes and as the fucking Phantom of the Opera, and they just decided to put him with fucking his brother and Sandow and fucking decided to just shit all over fucking him at one point.
No, of course. So admittedly, like I didn't watch Cody's run, before he went to AEW, but he is as hot as he's going to be now. Like striking iron is hot now. Striking iron is hot, and with all the injuries they've had now, if Roman's hurt, especially too. There's space for Cody to be a top guy immediately. Make it happen.
Yeah. Anyway, so is Kingdom the first wrestling theme song to ever be in like 8 different companies?
Probably.
Because he's been using that shit since like 2016.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Liger's used the same entrance theme for fucking every company he's fucking been in.
But he's not been in as many companies as Cody. Because think about it, Cody's used that theme he used it in TNA. He used it in ROH. He used it in New Japan. He used it in AEW. Now WWE.
Used it in NWA too, right?
Huh?
You probably used it when he came out at NWA.
Yeah, I think AAA too. Didn't he do some work with them?
But you gotta remember, Liger was in WCW, NXT. New Japan, All Japan.
Did he use Noah NXT debut?
Yeah, I'm like 99% sure the one match he wrestled, he used his theme. That's what I'm saying. But Liger is the only other one that I could probably put in the conversation.
Good company.
Yeah. Need more Liger.
But like
Liger.
I said it. And obviously, we'll see what from the time we're recording this, the next 24 hours brings us. Because we don't know. There's mystery out there.
I think there's going to be some things that are going to happen.
I have mixed feelings, but like, I don't think the tribal chief is as hurt as some people might think he is. But anyway, for me, I said it 2 months ago. If the rumors of Cody Rhodes coming to WWE are true, you make him world champion as quickly as possible.
Agreed.
You do not even let that rose start to wilt. You get the title on him as quickly as possible. And I mean, night 1, he's already set his target. So I think that's where we're headed. Because here's the deal. And this is what I've always said. Vince McMahon, no matter how much he's an asshole, is the smartest businessman that this industry has ever seen.
Without question.
He knows where the money lies, and the money lies in Cody Rhodes.
Right now.
Because Cody Rhodes left the WWE, went on a speaking tour about why he's anti the machine. He started a company that was a middle finger to the machine. And in less than 3 years, he has come home. He has cut a promo that says there was no tough decision. This was the decision. This is the title that I want to win. So the guy that started a revolution in less than 3 years is already back, and you make him champion. That's the smartest fucking business and the easiest fucking business you can ever do.
I actually said it the other day. Is this not extremely reminiscent of the way that Eric Bischoff argues the NWO angle actually was? Because we all saw it from the point of view of, oh, these WWF guys are coming over to take over WCW. But his argument has always been it had to be Scott Hall and Kevin Nash first because they had the history with WCW where they were failures who then had success outside of the company and were coming back to be like, look, bitches, we are successful and now we're going to take over your company. That is actually something that you can strike with right here now, too. Cody literally did the same thing. Drew McIntyre did the same thing. There's a few guys that you have there that you could argue did the same thing if they want to get an angle like that together. I'm not saying that they're going to do an NWO angle, but I think you could at least do it with a Cody, like, from his perspective, because that's the story. That's what everyone's talking about. That's the real thing. This man, even, regardless of what you want to say now, the truth is he left WWE because he knew he was never going to get to the top of WWE by just staying in WWE.
Absolutely.
He had to go and make his name on his own. He had to.
Which he did.
100% he did.
So that's my lasting impression of night one. Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch were fucking brilliant.
That match was
the weekend.
Bianca Belair.
That was not match of the weekend, Ernest. Stop.
The first person. The first person.
You haven't watched FTR versus the Briscoes. You can't commentate on what was match of the weekend.
A WrestleMania match. I'm not talking about like overall.
You said match of the weekend, moron. That's match of the weekend.
We're talking about WrestleMania, but that's not anything else.
Don't say match of the weekend if you mean match of WrestleMania. There is a difference. Words. Use them.
How you like that?
We're talking WrestleMania. Okay?
You said
we're
weekend,
talking
dummy.
WrestleMania. It was the best WrestleMania match of the weekend.
There you go.
See, use your words. You would have gotten cut off if you used your words right.
You know I can't do that.
Well, that's true.
Worst.
But Bianca, first person to ever win world titles in their first two WrestleManias. So
By an update. Matt's 5-1, by the way.
nobody cares.
Matt's 5-1.
You'll still find a way to finish 12 games under 500.
Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
correct.
They're going to be
April. By June, I'm committing suicide.
they'll be 60 and 102. So nobody
You
cares.
won't even watch a Mets game in June because you'll be so busy watching the Heat fucking implode. But I digress.
Wait, in June finals, you mean? Yeah, cool.
He ain't lying.
Like, really?
No. Whenever you don't get to the fucking finals and you're talking about rebuild.
That's
That ain't a knee slapper, buddy.
You're not better than Milwaukee. You're not better than Boston. Try again.
No, but Milwaukee. That's how far I go. Milwaukee.
And you've lost to us 2 out of 3, bud. Good luck.
Oh, okay. Robert back sometime soon.
You won't get past Brooklyn if Brooklyn is the 8th seed.
They're not getting 8. They're getting the 7th seed now.
I hope Cleveland beats them and they get the 8th seed and they shove it up your ass in 5 games.
I think that's Halle Berry. It doesn't matter. Ain't gonna happen.
Get wrecked.
Go ahead, Joe. Just go ahead, fucker.
I know I don't
podcast.
I know I don't understand whatever sport you guys are talking about, but did you
Croquet.
just announce some Halle Berry?
What? Yeah, I said I want to have Halle Berry, but it's not
What
gonna
the
happen.
fuck does that mean?
You want to have Halle Berry? Oh wait, you're gay. I forgot. Never mind. It doesn't work. Jim, go ahead.
Fucking.
What am I
Can we
doing?
talk about-
Word.
Can we talk about
Word.
Sunday now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. Austin.
Oh my god, I love the fact that Kevin Owens has now main evented at WrestleMania.
Thank
I
you.
feel like that's been buried.
Yeah, but come on.
It should be buried.
Back in October, the body language experts had him pegged for AEW.
Yeah, remember?
So he looks so upset.
Me?
He's definitely He's definitely signing with AEW. He's so unhappy here.
Jim.
Him and Sami Zayn
Though.
both.
Jim, let's be real though. I know all three of us here said he may go. Odds him going to AEW a lot higher. That's not have Rich's history here. You two jabronis all said, looks like AEW bound. Looks like it.
Well, yeah, it
I
did.
mean, it was obviously it's a possibility. It's always a possibility when it comes.
Yeah, just like it was a possibility that Cody Rhodes came back to WWE at fucking WrestleMania. Genius. Anything's on the table, no matter what the fuck it is. Because at the end of the day,
I'm just saying that
Chief Cha-ching.
I'm just saying it's not a bad take that Kevin Owens is rumored to leave WWE at that time. Definitely on the table. Is that a bad take?
You know what? I'm rumored to go throw tomorrow for the Mets because you guys don't have any starting pitching. That's a rumor that I'm starting. So,
but EJ, there's a big difference. There's a big difference between people saying,
"Oh, my Mets."
Yeah, it's opening day. Stop it. Opening day.
Show some respect, there, Baltimore. Okay, show some respect.
Opening day takes are stupid. They're stupid. People get mad. People get worried and upset when their team loses on a Tuesday in April. It doesn't fucking matter. I agree. Matter.
The only time I get upset when my team loses on a Tuesday in April is if somebody that's a big part of the fucking team gets hurt. Losing a game is one thing. Losing a guy for like 4 months.
It's not the losing game that upsets you. And that's my point. It's
exactly. I don't care about the game. That's one game.
Exactly. Thank you. But like, yeah, I'm talking about the people. I'm not talking about people that said, "Oh, there's a chance that he looks at AEW." Absolutely. You'd be fucking dumb at this point in the wrestling business if you're not negotiating on the other side when your contract goes up.
Of course.
It's leverage. It's a leverage play. You're stupid if you don't. It's the same reason that Kyler Murray deletes the Cardinals off his fucking social media. It's the same reason Deebo Samuel did the same thing today with unfollowing the 49ers. It's all leverage plays at this point.
Joe, this is football, by the way, so that you know, in case you don't know.
Yeah, I follow football. You don't think I'm into a sport where there's tight ends and wide receivers?
Jesus. You know what I mean? So like you'd be dumb to not negotiate. You'd be dumb not to even for there to be a narrative that begins to create.
Let's step back. Take a step even further back. Arguably the greatest faction in wrestling history happened because two guys went and negotiated for more money in Hall and Nash. Bret Hart left when Vince said, "I couldn't pay you the money," and he got more money from Turner.
Exactly.
This has been going on since the fucking 80s. This isn't fucking rocket science. So for some random schmo to be like, "Man, this guy's body language looks like he wants to go fucking shove a popsicle up his fucking ear and go to AEW," like, cool.
Right. Yeah.
Meltzer and those guys are selling subscriptions. They're conning the fucking country into buying subscriptions where you get their opinions on if someone's using 2-ply toilet paper or 3-ply toilet paper. At the end of the fucking day, who gives a shit? Because it's not my ass that's being wiped with it.
Right. Like that. And that's my point. My point is the people that create this over the top narrative that, of course, the AEW fan base runs with. And you know, to their.
That's so fucking annoying. I'm sorry. That's one of the most annoying fan base ever.
They run with it because really that's their MO as their company. It's the next biggest debut. It's what they're built on. If you run out of a talent pool to flood in, you're gonna start having problems. But like so for the notion of Kevin Owens possibly coming over and Sami Zayn, well, if Kevin goes, Sami's gonna go. Which I get it. Like they're always like eternally linked to each other, but like I don't think there was ever actually any smoke there. I really don't. Like, yeah, maybe it was a negotiation. Yes, it was a possibility. But at the end of the day, I don't think like AJ Styles re-signed and nobody in his camp. Like he's even said it. Nobody in his camp. And I don't know if AEW's gunning down for AJ Styles. But nobody in his camp even.
If
you believe what he says, nobody ever even talked to AEW. So like, there's certain guys that I'm like, they're actually maybe happy over here, and they're.
I think I have a bigger take here when it comes to the jumping from WWE to AEW, with the exception of Adam and Kyle. how many of them have really left? How many of them have been let go to then show up in AEW?
Well,
How many have chose to leave WWE to bet on themselves? Not Keith Lee.
That's it.
Okay, so 3 out of their fucking debuts
Right.
are the ones that are the left WWE to bet on themselves.
Right.
Keith Lee didn't. Ruby Soho didn't. Toni Storm took her ball and went home.
Well, Toni Storm left.
But I still think she had time on her contract. I just think WWE was
right.
fine with just being like, you know what? Go do you.
Yeah, WWE didn't give a fuck about her leaving.
But at the end of the day, they still had to let her go.
Sure, absolutely.
Mustafa Ali asked for his release fucking months ago, and they're telling him no.
Yeah.
If they think that you're going to go do something in another company that's going to potentially harm them or be a threat to them, and they're going to give you every opportunity to be used there before they let you go. But there's 3 people that have debuted in AEW that are gets. Everybody else that's the next stop for me.
That's crumbs. Basically, everything is crumbs.
It's not crumbs. It's not what I'm getting at. 3 people have chose to leave WWE. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Jon Moxley. 1 person has chosen to leave AEW, a former executive vice president.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, every other debut that they've had have been released. Malachi Black, released.
You talking about Austin?
Yes, we can get back to talking about Austin because I know Joe wants to talk about the true star Austin of night number 2.
Oh, yeah,
Austin.
We'll get to your boy Austin, Joe.
I just segued you, Joe. Let's go. Get to it.
What do you want to do it now?
Oh man,
Don't.
I was licking everyone to that man's ass.
Emoji. Go ahead. Let's go.
Hey, he's a great, fantastic individual, and he deserves all the success that he's about to have.
No, I agree with you.
You know nothing about him personally. How do you know that he's a great person?
He's a great guy.
I mean, he's probably an asshole, but he also probably has a huge dick.
No, he's 100%. He's 100% an asshole.
Like,
you think so?
right? Because most guys.
Is that a guess, Mike?
No, I read Twitter.
Oh.
He's one of those that has some people that aren't very pleased with some of the decision making that he's done in the past and are very vocal about it. Trust me, when you go down the rabbit hole of looking at the Nash Carter stuff, you go down the left street, and then all of a sudden there's like a list of people where you're like, why isn't Gable Stevenson released? Why isn't Austin Theory released? Why isn't this person released? Trust me, don't make the left-hand turn. It's very dangerous down there. It's very dark.
I wouldn't mind going down his rabbit hole.
Okay.
That's a different hole.
Okay, we're done. Pat McAfee.
Hold on. The turn I took was the Twitter one. You want to make the right-hand turn and go to his.
Yes.
You want to go right at the stoplight. Nobody else go left. Everybody else just keep going straight because you're not straight. Let's move on with that.
Right on the cover.
Can we actually talk about
the
the fact
every
that,
episode of this podcast?
wait. Can we talk about the fact that Pat McAfee needs to be wrestling at least 4 times a year?
Pat McAfee is one of the greatest sports entertainers of all time.
Yep.
Yes.
Pat
he
McAfee
needs to be used
greatest.
on a Brock Lesnar level.
He's
where
a great
he pops up like 4 times a year and has an awesome fucking match against somebody.
He's a great guy.
Pat McAfee greatest celebrity appearance at WrestleMania.
Does it even count as a celebrity appearance anymore?
I'm going to say yes because he did not start as a wrestler.
He's an employee of WWE, but I mean, yeah, I guess you're saying.
He started as an athlete, just like
No.
But by that argument, then every time Goldberg wrestled, it was a celebrity match?
Correct.
Yeah, worst celebrity ever.
According to Bret Hart,
the new answer for worst celebrity to ever wrestle at WrestleMania, Goldberg.
No, that's incorrect.
Ira Goldberg, my accountant.
Yeah,
there's a Snooki match, bud. Trust me, that was worse.
Like I've never seen before.
Well, if you run back your greatest WrestleMania list, but by next year, then you'll
have 12 months. Big
point.
Jim. I got 12 months for that.
I know, but you haven't seen it yet. But you'll see it.
Start watching it now, dummy.
I know. I'm WrestleMania 20 through 34.
Hold on. Better.
Before he has to watch Sonic tomorrow.
So this motherfucker tells me he wants to do a WWE 40 like they did the NBA 75, where you do like the top 40 wrestlers.
And we're doing that over the summer.
Buddy, if your rankings are half as bad as your rankings for the month of March for the fucking wrestler of the month, I swear to God, I'm going to come through this fucking computer screen and karate chop the no neck you have because it's hot garbage.
Wow.
You take a 17-year break and you expect to have a decent
Calm down, Mike.
list. Funny, his number one wrestler is going to be like fucking
Dolph Ziggler.
Charlotte Flair.
Leave Charlotte alone.
You dumbass.
Thank you. Jim, when I get to the wrestler of the month and I tell you who he has, you're going to look at me and go, what the fuck?
Well, number one? You had a problem with number one?
Be ready.
Jesus.
You had a problem with number one for real?
I have a problem with multiple things on your list, bud. We'll get there.
I mean, I get it. Night 2. Stand out. Obviously, Austin and Pat McAfee stood out. What else stood out night 2? I love
better pacing. Better pacing night 2 than night 1.
Night 2 definitely better than night 1 overall.
True, that
Better
match,
tag
It
title
was
match.
more balanced.
match, amazing.
Definitely more balanced. Night 1 had higher highs. To me, had higher highs and lower lows.
Right.
Night 1 was more of a kill. The Knoxville Sami Zayn match is one of the greatest wrestle. Like that is
What a sport Sami
that was
is.
so fucking good. Like it really was so fucking good.
What a sport Sami Zayn is, man. Seriously, he gets it.
Fucking goddamn right he gets it. Absolutely gets it.
My wife hated that match. She hated that match.
14 minutes and 25 seconds of pure fucking entertainment joy.
My wife hated that match. She hates Johnny Knoxville.
She's wrong. She is wrong. I don't tell women they're wrong hardly ever.
You tell your wife she's wrong ever?
She is fucking wrong.
You tell your wife that she's wrong ever?
Wrong.
Do I tell my wife she's wrong?
Yeah.
No, I'm not an idiot. I mean, like if she would literally like walk outside and be like, the sky is purple. I'd be like,
it's so bad that
No.
you literally became a fan of your rival because of her. College football.
well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
He ain't lying.
You're so fucking whipped.
Like you aren't. Yeah. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we know you are Sonic the Hedgehog.
Fuck you, Michael.
Clown.
I want to go to that fucking movie, man. I'm going with my kid.
All right, so takeaway, yeah, definitely better paced. I will say I still feel like the main event was abruptly finished.
Yes.
Because I looked
It
at
was.
my phone and I was just like, but we have 15 minutes left. The fuck is going on? That sucked. Especially because I think that match was kicking off into third and fourth gear. So it sucks, and that's why I truly think that there is something wrong. I don't know the severity of it. Obviously, none of us do. Could be a small hyperextension that they pop right back into place, and they just letting the swelling go down and do an MRI. He could be out a couple weeks, maybe not have a match at Backlash. Hell, maybe you make it a 6-man tag match. You go Arcade
Michael,
Bro and Cody
WrestleMania
versus.
Backlash. Get it right.
No, fuck you.
It's WrestleMania Backlash.
No, it's Backlash.
I hate it.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
I want to. Sami Zayn tweeted this today at about 7:30. My WrestleMania match against Johnny Knoxville is one of my all-time favorites. Definitely one of the matches I'm most proud of. I've had a lot of great matches in my career. I'd put this up with any of them. Anyone who saw that match will remember it. Yes.
That was sports entertainment at its finest.
You can't sum it up any better.
I just love the mousetrap spot.
That was great.
Goddamn good.
I wonder if he's right about that. Like, I wonder how many people will actually remember that match. Like,
It will stand out. It will stand out because of
here's what's interesting. I feel like at some point we should go through WrestleManias and just be like, how many matches can you name from each WrestleMania? Because
Well, I don't know.
give me a year.
Well,
I don't necessarily know that. Maybe it's
2007.
List me 3 things that you can like name from that show.
Okay, fair.
like,
That's a dude. That's a good topic. I like that. Next year.
But I also think like remembering a match, like you may not be able to remember. You may not be able to be like, oh man, do you remember? Like, bullet to my head. I couldn't. I probably. It would take me a little while to like dig in and remember like which like TLC match was at WrestleMania, which one was at SummerSlam between
DLC 2 was WrestleMania 17. I'll never forget that.
like I can picture moments, but I can't necessarily remember if they're like on that show. And I think that's what Sami Zayn means. It's like I'll always be able to go fucking Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. Maybe because I'm as big of a Jackass fan as I am, I'll probably be able to remember his WrestleMania.
You were that big a fan of that show?
Goddamn right, dude. It was so good. It was so fucking.
I mean, when you really come back and you think about this weekend of WrestleMania, like the 5 things that stand out: unification, Cody's return, Bianca wins, Johnny Knoxville, Stone Cold.
Yes, correct.
Bingo.
Correct.
There's your 5.
Yep. That's correct.
Yeah, Edge and AJ Styles had a good match, but Edge and AJ Styles may have 35
I
more
might
matches.
put Vince McMahon's surprise.
Well, that goes
match
along with
over
Stone
Johnny
Cold, though.
It goes to
Knoxville
Austin too, though.
personally.
The whole thing goes to Austin.
Well, it's because you didn't also enjoy Johnny versus Sami Zayn as much as everybody else did.
Right? No, true. I'm not a Jackass fan. I never have been.
Yeah, just like you'll remember the fact that Austin Theory had 9 abs instead of 7 at WrestleMania because you want to lick all of them, and the rest of us are gonna go, "Wow, that's not fucking sanitary. That's not sanitary at all."
Only Joe.
But again,
It came into me.
you go from a wrestling fan who
Shit, fucking Jim.
it's
Ryan.
them talking.
That's how you use a soundboard, EJ.
I know it's Ryan.
Killer.
But that's the thing, when you go to a random wrestling fan and you go top 5 things from WrestleMania 38, they're gonna tell you Austin, the shit with Austin.
Mhm.
They're gonna tell you the unification match. They're probably gonna tell you Bianca winning, and they're gonna talk about Logan Paul and Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
And that's where the celebrity shit works, because you're getting people that aren't wrestling fans talking about the fact that Logan Paul and Johnny Knoxville had WrestleMania matches that people would never watch if it wasn't.
Oh yeah, no, it's funny. Like we can all sit and when you analyze WrestleMania 11 and have the argument for Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow didn't belong in the main event, but honestly, if you ask 9 out of 10 people, maybe less than that, maybe like 7 out of 10 wrestling fans to name a match from WrestleMania 11, I bet you that they're gonna go for Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lawrence Taylor.
Yep.
I mean, objectively, as one of the worst WrestleManias ever. So
Oh yeah, no, hot garbage.
you're going to pick out
you're gonna name. But that's the thing. It's hot garbage, but you're gonna name the
You're going to
match.
pick out LT and you're going to pick out Pam Anderson's boobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Jay McCarthy.
You won't, Joe, but
No.
everybody else will.
Well, 27
Jonathan
WrestleMania 27. What are you naming from that? The end of Edge's career and Snooki. And the start of the build of Roxina.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
fact that The Miz won the main event of that WrestleMania, that is a
The
memory.
Miz getting his brain dusted.
Yeah. But that's the funny thing. When you start looking at it from that perspective, when you start thinking about it, last year, perfect example. What are you talking about? The women's main event,
Mm-hmm.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Bob.
The second thing that pops to your head is Bad Bunny.
The Fiend and whatever the fuck that was,
Roman stack him, pin him, stack him,
and Vince McMahon welcoming fans back.
and Roman stacking him.
I mean, for me, and maybe this is a from being at the event thing, but WrestleMania 37 will always remember as the one where cardboard cutout sat next to us. Because no other WrestleMania will ever be like that.
You had a definitely different perspective than people watching it.
And you know that's the funny thing? I was saying that to a few people today or the other day at work and stuff, because they were asking me, how WrestleMania was and stuff, and I was saying what's interesting is it's actually the first time since 2020 where I've been in an arena that was that crowded and everything. Because even though we were at WrestleMania last year's WrestleMania was one of the weirdest experiences, and I mean that in a good way. Like I really enjoyed it, but like our section at WrestleMania last year had maybe like 40 people in it. Like you were talking to the guys that were 2 rows behind you and 2 rows in front of you, because y'all could hear each other and everything the fuck you were saying, because there were only like 20 of you sitting around each other. Like that doesn't happen most years. That didn't happen this year.
And even Revolution wasn't like, it was filled for that venue, but that venue only holds 17 to 20,000 people.
Right, exactly.
77,000.
Exactly. No, it's a different animal. And that was an interesting thing to be back in that place. And I didn't have that experience last year.
And we didn't have that experience, the experience we had this year when we hit it the first time with 105,000 people in it.
True.
At 32. Obviously bigger stage, so they took up a little extra of the seating area, but 144,000 people.
Good 2 nights.
It's not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
All right, let's go. Let's get to the topics now that we've fucking sidebarred for.
I've had.
So
this-
okay, wait. So we just did the WrestleMania.
Yep.
I have. Who was one of the creative for next year? It was you, Joe, right?
Joe.
That's my topic. Yeah.
All right, let's go to that then while we're in the WrestleMania mood.
Yeah, I mean, like I was just saying before, to me, this year's WrestleMania was one of my favorites, hands down. The 2
Top 10.
nights were fantastic. But most of the moments that will be remembered and most of the stuff that I think really hit out of the park were things like The Undertaker's retirement, Triple H's surprise retirement, the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin for the first time in 19 years, the return of Cody, or debut, however you want to look at that one. Yeah, the unification of the world title and the WWE title, the appearance of Pat McAfee and Johnny Knoxville and all these things. And my question is, though, how often can you go to that well? Like, if you're going to make WrestleMania special every year, it seems like those are the kind of things that you need to make WrestleMania special. So my question is, what do they do next year? We're in LA next year. We're in Hollywood. It's 2 nights again. You got to try to make it special. You're not having The Undertaker retire again.
No.
You're not having Stone Cold Steve Austin return again. Even if Stone Cold Steve Austin does wrestle a match, it's not the first match he's wrestled in 19 years. There's still not the same level of specialness as what we got this year. You're not having probably Vince McMahon come out there and tear 5 of his quads. You're not having any of these kinds of things. You're not having Cody return. You might not even have anybody as big as Cody able to return. So my question is, what do you do next year? What do you do to make WrestleMania special? Because it seems like at this point, it's not simply the storylines. It's not simply the feuds. It's not simply build guys up and have some great matches. You need to have all these different angles and kind of gotcha hooks and stuff. Mm-hmm. And at some point, do they run out?
Hook, send Hook.
Well, send Hook always, yes.
To me, it's really simple. That one thing left in the bag, and that's The Rock.
I still don't think we're ever getting that match.
I'm not saying we're going to get it. I'm just saying that's the only thing left in the bag they can use is if they do the Rock Roman thing. But beyond that, I mean, you have Triple H Hall of Fame. Is he in Hall of Fame yet? Solo?
Not Solo. He's
No,
in
he's
his
not.
EX.
So you have that in your bag.
I think your Hall of Fame next year, Triple H and Batista.
Right.
Lean into Hollywood.
I mean, obviously you bring a hot celebrity now.
I think we're missing it here. It's not The Rock. It's not The Rock. It's not Stone Cold. It's not Batista. It's not Triple H.
Cena?
No.
Ooh.
You go with what you have.
Well, that's what I have written down.
Well, you always do that because you
But you don't. Because
don't.
you didn't go with what you had this year. You had Pat McAfee. You had Logan Paul. You had Johnny Knoxville. You had you had Stone Cold. You had The Undertaker retiring. You had 5 or 6 things in the gun before you even got to the unification match. At this point, go with what got you here. Go with Roman Reigns. It's the head of the table's time to be the main draw for WrestleMania. You use Triple H as the main draw of the Hall of Fame, and you put all of your marbles into Roman Reigns.
You're saying, Mike, that it should be solely about the storylines and nothing more.
I'm saying that if Roman Reigns' arm is not removed from his body, and he keeps the Universal title.
Mhm.
He drops it at Mania, and you get the payoff of the head of the table finally losing.
The question
That's
is,
your draw. That's your Hollywood story. Give me the Hollywood underdog.
the big question is who's going to be the guy, whoever is the guy that becomes
Find
the
it.
guy that throws him.
Find it. Let him
He
lose.
spent
Let
half of
him
his
lose the WWE title to Cody before SummerSlam, and
Yeah.
let him figure out who it wants it to be. And personally, this is gonna be really. It's gonna sound really bad. The underdog story is Braun Breaker.
Oh, I can totally
Yeah.
see it.
Braun Breaker, Roman Reigns, night 2 of WrestleMania, and Braun walks out as the Universal Champion.
Like Braun's getting the rock. Like,
Do you think
dude,
Braun's getting called up before SummerSlam?
No. Braun Breaker doesn't get called up until Survivor Series.
Okay.
He's got enough business that he's got to take care of down there in NXT. He's got Gunther, he's got Carmelo Hayes, he's got some guys that he needs to go have some matches with before we worry about him beating up Ricochet and fucking Finn Balor.
Well, he'll be up 40 years over. What you saying?
I would say yes.
yeah, I mean, you don't go from debuting at the Royal Rumble to dethroning Roman Reigns in a 3-month span.
No. At this point, bring him up at Survivor Series. Let him win the Royal Rumble. You know what? Let him go the distance in the Rumble. Make him go in at 1, win the Rumble, take out the Usos, take out whoever Roman tries to bring in, because now Roman knows that he's a threat.
Yeah.
And then as you lead into WrestleMania, he takes out Jimmy. He takes out Jay. He takes out Solo Sikoa, who they bring up as the 4th member of the fucking bloodline. He runs through them all. He is the underdog. He walks out as the champion. At the end of the day, Hollywood, you need to cash in on your Hollywood story. Your Hollywood story for the last 3 years has been the ups and downs of the life of Roman Reigns. Cash in on that ticket. Use him to be the draw. Yes, bring Bad Bunny in. Yes, bring back Pat McAfee. Let Logan Paul come back if he wants. Use other things to shape the rest of the matches. But
Well,
if
yeah,
you're
which is
going
what
for the
you
thing, to punch your ticket, it's Roman Reigns versus whoever he's going to drop the Universal title to. It's not The Rock. It's not Cena. It's not Triple H, even though he should be, the shell, because he should get his Hall of Fame moment right then and there.
I think
Cut
he
and
will.
dry. But this should be that moment. And you know what? Here's the perfect story. If it's not Braun Breaker and somebody else decides to jump from AEW back to WWE, let it be Mox.
I
know he's happy in AEW, but you have a shot here to main event with one of your best friends, and they're giving you the title.
See, I'm going to say this, though.
Before. I don't see him coming back.
Yeah.
I don't.
I agree.
Or
I
ever.
think the
Maybe not
difference,
necessarily ever, but it's not in the next year.
I think the difference between Mox and like Cody Rhodes is Cody knew that he still had a road to get to the top of WWE. He knew that he could still make it happen, but he had to leave to get there. Mox has already been to the top of WWE. Mox has been WWE champion. He really just didn't like anything that they were doing at this point with him. This wasn't about him being like, I need to go out there and prove myself.
He also didn't like traveling and doing house shows, thing that they're not doing anymore.
I don't know. I don't see it. I think he got as far as he needed to in WWE, and he was just tired of the system. I think it's different than like a Cody situation.
I think we also have to remember that John decided to leave. Cody was released.
Yes.
There's a difference. I think if John wants to come back, John has more of the door. Cody had to go out and basically build himself back from scratch, whereas Jon Moxley never has had to do that. So if there's a person that's going to come over that makes the most sense, it would be Moxley.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that he couldn't walk in anytime he wanted. I'm saying I don't think he's ever going to want to.
Yeah. I'm with Joe on that one. They-
You start adding zeros to checks, you'll be surprised.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, I think between him and what Renee does, I don't, and I also see them like, and I get it, like, you know, Punk is a rich ass man, but like, I don't personally, and maybe he has the wool pulled over my eyes. I don't see Moxley being a guy who's money driven though. Like, and I get the concept of like just keep putting zeros on a check, but like, I feel like fucking Moxley could be comfortable in a fucking 2-bedroom house. Like,
No, he could, but here's the thing. Do you want to wrestle with your friends, or do you want this weird storyline with William Regal and Bryan Danielson that's eventually going to lead to the two of them having a feud that they've kind of already had? And what are they actually doing with Jon Moxley?
Yeah.
It's the same vicious cycle.
right. But I mean, to play devil's advocate, you come back to WWE, you win the title against your friend at WrestleMania, and then 6 months from now you lose the title and you're wearing a gas mask again. You know what I mean? Like that. That's why I don't think. That's why I don't think Mox is.
He won the title, and then 6 months later he lost the title, and now he's basically walking around with William Regal, who's slapping people in the face.
Oh, I get it. I mean,
I'd like to challenge you to a duel.
Trust me, there's booking issues on both sides of the line. But to Joe's question, like in terms of how do you make WrestleMania 39 as you know feel big and special? Like, yeah, you're gonna sprinkle in as much Hollywood as you can. You're gonna sprinkle in the Bad Bunnies. You're gonna sprinkle in the Logan Pauls. You're gonna sprinkle in, you're going to get Triple H's Hall of Fame. You're going to probably get Batista's Hall of Fame because he didn't do it the other year because he's waiting for the best time. Well, a fucking movie star, when the hell is his best time? When it's in goddamn Hollywood.
True.
I would separate those two though. Triple H's Hall. I think both in line separate years.
Oh,
You
no.
Batista's not a headline.
They're eternally tied
Batista
to
is
each
not a
other.
headline.
don't think so?
No. He's a second. He's like a co-headliner, but he's not a headliner by himself.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe him being in Hollywood would have helped his, again,
Buddy, this isn't a Met Gala. This is fucking WrestleMania.
And Triple H goes in next year.
Yeah, he has to go next.
Yeah, 100%.
So
no
like,
question.
and so yeah, but to me, my big thing, if you have the opportunity for a return at Mania, similar to like what you did with Cody, like if Bray does a movie, you does more like movie shit for a year, and then you can get him to be back next year. If you can get somebody to quote unquote defect from AEW, I don't think you necessarily need that. I think to make wrestling, because you're never going to get a nostalgia mania like you had this year.
No,
Right.
They pulled.
You're not.
They blew their load this year. They blew their load in so many ways that you can't pull it off again.
But like, so you're just never going to get that. I think the big thing for next year is to actually pay attention to, similar to what they did with 35. Pay attention to what's happening organically with your fan base, and give them the things that they want.
A la Kofi, yeah.
Kofi Mania. Give them Becky winning. Give them Seth getting over Roman. Like, do the things that your fans are telling you from Survivor Series on that they want.
Give Finn Balor the Universal title again.
Like whatever it is at that point, whoever's the hot card, whoever is the people, the superstars that the fans are organically cheering for, listen to them. That's how you make 39 special. And that was a big thing about what made 35 special.
Yeah.
That one was one of the most payoff heavy manias that I think we've probably ever had, and it's one of the best manias ever. So yeah, you're never gonna get Triple H putting his boots in the middle of the ring and Steve Austin doing beer bashes on back-to-back nights in the middle of the place where he started and ended his career. So just do the complete opposite and do the thing that everybody says that you don't do.
Well, by the way, I just tagged you, Jim, on Twitter. You'll appreciate it.
Do you think that there's a chance that they lean even heavier into celebrity stuff?
I mean, they've been doing that. I mean, if they go any heavier now at this point, it's almost overkill in a sense.
I don't think you can go heavier.
I mean, McAfee. If you're saying McAfee is a celebrity, that's McAfee. There's Logan Paul, Johnny Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ronda Rousey doesn't count, right? I guess.
Not at this point, I don't think. Mike might disagree.
What?
Ronda Rousey.
Does Rousey count as a celebrity?
No, she's on the roster.
Okay.
No, Pat McAfee counts as a celebrity because at the end of the day, he doesn't have a wrestling contract.
Right.
He has an announcing contract. Ronda Rousey will wrestle a house show in 6 weeks. Pat McAfee will be sitting on his couch in Indianapolis, Indiana.
What a brand.
So, again, I think we have to look at it from that perspective. If you're going to tell me that Jimmy Smith from the Raw announce team is going to wrestle a match, so like, okay, that's a celebrity because he doesn't have a wrestling contract. He has an announcing contract.
Okay, so wait, I got one last question on this topic, and then we can move to the next one. As far as just one answer from each of you guys, all right? Male, female, doesn't matter. What one celebrity or sports performer would you like to see at next year's WrestleMania in a match?
George Kittle.
Who?
George Kittle. Tight end for the Niners.
Okay.
If not him, Gronk. Finally.
Why would you have someone from the 49ers when it's LA?
He's a heel.
Oh, okay.
Easy heat. He gets booed out of the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point.
That one's easy. You put him with the Miz like you did fucking Logan Paul last weekend, and
it's built in. Rams-Niners rivalry.
that's what I'm saying. He's a built-in heel at that point.
Fair. That's fair.
Mike, what about you?
I'm gonna go with someone who's actually had a WWE match before. Give me Stephen Amell.
Who?
Stephen Amell.
Who's that?
He plays.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You didn't watch wrestling. My bad. Fucking clown.
Who is he? Who the fuck is he? I don't know who he is.
He's the main character of the Starz show Heels. He was also Green Arrow. He wrestled Cody at SummerSlam. They had a fucking banger match. Yeah, I would put him and Cody in a match, whether it's against each other again, or maybe they could be in a tag team and they could win the tag titles and they could drop them the next night or something. I don't know.
Let Jim stop that. It's not lame. Stop.
It's fucking lame, dude. If you ever fucking tag me in a goddamn fucking Max Caster tweet
baby.
again, I'm gonna fucking slap you in your bald head.
The best part was the Samoa Joe beating him down and doing the fucking dance.
Oh yeah. I'll go with a guy who had a match at WrestleMania last year. Give me fucking Bad Bunny again. Run it back. That dude was so good.
Again.
Give me Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul in a fucking one-on-one match.
In a fucking steel cage. Fucking I don't know why they're in a cage, but why the fuck not? They were so good. Both of them were so much better than they had any business being.
I do have a dark horse that I think would be an excellent get if they decide if this person becomes available.
Who's it?
Bring in the Notorious.
That was gonna be my answer.
Bring in Conor McGregor.
That was definitely gonna be my answer.
That's built in. That's just built. I mean, that's just obvious. He was tweeting all fucking weekend too. Remember?
That's what I'm saying. If he's true about being done in MMA, because you're not going to bring him in because UFC isn't going to let you because of his contract, obviously.
Right.
But if he's done and he's available,
what about intern Mark?
Give me Montez Ford and Bianca Belair versus fucking Becky Lynch and fucking Conor McGregor in a mixed tag match.
Oh my god,
dude! Here's the deal. Watch over the next couple of months. If he keeps tweeting at WWE, I guarantee it's already in the works.
Yep.
Like if he keeps making that, because it's easy to do that on WrestleMania weekend because everybody's talking about wrestling on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Weekend.
Oh, hey, speaking of John Moxley, he was at Carmella and Corey Graves' wedding
Yeah, I
today.
saw that. I saw him and Natalia in a picture together.
That's cool.
She's so hot, Natalia.
And Bailey.
Mm.
Ooh, Liv Morgan. Hello, Liv.
Oh, little Liv.
Hello, Liv.
Live.
Dude, so
All right.
I saw earlier today she she put her whip from Mania. It was like up on like the WWE auction site or something, and within like an hour it was over like $600. I'm like, these fucking goddamn perverts on the goddamn internet.
Hey, Jim, before we go,
losing-
are you sad Carmella's gone officially off the market? He's sad.
Bro, like, okay, first off, if there's any fucking fat Dumbo talking about wrestling in their basement who thinks they had a legit shot at landing a Carmella, they're out of their fucking mind.
In the words of Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. Let's go.
Yeah, well, he's a dummy too. So, yeah, no.
Jim and Ernest, I just tagged you in something. Please slide to slide number 7 of what I tagged you in and just
Twitter?
enjoy.
Twitter or Instagram?
Oh, no, that was Instagram.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Dad. I see Renee Paquette picture of Moxley and Corey Graves.
It's a video of Liv and Bailey singing. You'll see why I say just enjoy.
Oh.
Yo.
It has something to do with titties.
Yeah.
Because he didn't include me.
I can see why Joe wasn't tagged in this.
Yeah.
It took me a minute. I was sitting here kind of feeling bad, and then I was like, oh, no, it's some straight shit.
Oh, it's definitely some straight shit.
Dang.
Sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
Now that I've just broken this fucking. It's a little hot.
A little hot here.
Hey, we love some Bailey.
A little Bailey. What's the next?
Yeah.
What's the next topic?
Next topic, I think, is my topic.
Yeah, let's go to it.
All right. So my topic is as we close out WrestleMania, week era, whatever we call it for this year, is if you were a person that says, "Hey, I want to get into wrestling," and I hear WrestleMania is this big deal. I know they have 30 WrestleManias in the can now. Recommend me 5 matches that you think are worth watching that will get me into WrestleMania, into WWE, or wrestling as a whole. Recommend me 5 random WrestleMania matches that you will tell a casual to watch. That will send hook into a.
Yeah. So here's what I find interesting about your topic.
Yeah.
Taking it from the perspective of this mystery person who is like, hey, I don't watch wrestling, but I want to watch wrestling. What matches would you show me? I'm going to answer that differently than just someone who's like, hey, I'm a huge New Japan fan. I've just never really watched WWE, but now I want to get into that. What WrestleMania matches should I watch? Like, that person, I'm sending to Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero from WrestleMania 20.
Okay.
That person I'm sending to Bret Hart and Steve Austin from 13. I don't know that I'm sending the person who's a casual fan who's never watched wrestling before to those matches. I don't know that I think that those matches are going to be the thing that sell them on becoming a wrestling fan. It's like back in the day when my brother's friends who were not wrestling fans wanted to come to a wrestling show with us. We didn't take them to a Ring of Honor show. We took them to a Chikara show. Because at the end of the day, there was no guarantee that they weren't going to fall asleep during a Ring of Honor show, even if it was Tyler Black and Austin Aries in the main event. But they were going to definitely be entertained when the fucking Colony came out. They were going to be entertained by the Super Smash Brothers. They were going to be entertained by, that's one of those things where like Danhausen. If you know nothing about wrestling, if you're not a wrestling fan at all, but someone shows you a Danhausen video, there's a really good chance you're going to be entertained.
For the record, if you haven't already, go listen to AEW Unrestricted from a couple weeks ago with Danhausen. It was really Funhausen. Send him all your monies.
But you know what I'm saying? Like honestly, if you're telling me person that doesn't watch wrestling, hey, which WrestleMania matches should I watch? I'm probably sending them to TLC 2 at WrestleMania 17. I'm like, car crash. You will enjoy this. Like, as much as I think it's not one of the greatest matches, I'm sending them to Rock Hogan at 18. Because the sound of the crowd in that match makes that match. Hearing that reaction, seeing how larger than life wrestling can be, that match encompasses that. It's a crap wrestling match, but it's everything about pro wrestling that I love.
Oh, it was fantastic. Jim and I did watch along 2 days ago on that very match.
No, but mind you, it's a horrible match if you're looking at it from
we were saying that. Take away the crowd.
Isn't that the point of the question, though?
Yes. Because that's what I'm saying. Like for me, that match is not a good wrestling match, but it encompasses everything that I love about pro wrestling.
I guess the real question here is, are we selling them on the wrestling in the ring, or are we selling them on the spectacle that is WrestleMania?
I would try selling them.
Want to approach it.
If it was me,
I'm a guy that gets into wrestling.
If it was me, I would be selling them on the spectacle. I would definitely be like, oh, you want to see some WrestleMania matches? I might show them Vince and Shane from 17. I think that's one of the 10 best WrestleMania matches of all time because it's entertaining as fucking shit.
If I'm going spectacle, I'm going Logan Paul and The Miz versus the Mysterios. I'm going Bad Bunny and Damian Priest from last year. I'm going the Car Crash TLC match at 17. I'm going to go Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank for the heist of the century. And my last one would probably be, as shitty as this is going to sound, if they're a wrestling fan, or not a wrestling fan, but if they're a knowledgeable sports fan, I mean, you may lean towards Butterbean knocking Bart Gunn into the fucking 97th row of WrestleMania X or X12 or whatever the fuck it was.
15.
I would make a case for an Undertaker match somewhere in here.
Which one?
I might say him and Triple H Hell in a Cell, to be honest. Because again,
if it's not that one, give me the match against Flair.
Yeah,
where Flair bleeds his ass off.
I would go for Hell in a Cell then.
Also because Arn Anderson throws a hell of a fucking spine buster in that match.
No. Yes, that's 100% correct. But I would go for the Hell in a Cell one then because you get classic Undertaker at that one. You get the entrance, you get all of that.
Yeah.
Which I think is, again, part of the selling of the spectacle. Like, you need to see an Undertaker entrance at a WrestleMania. Undertaker didn't even wrestle this year, and we got that. And that was one of the things that made this WrestleMania kind of awesome.
If it's someone who knows anything about wrestling, it's probably Hart Austin from 13.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably I would send them the triple threat match of Bryan winning the world title at 30.
On my list too.
I can see that.
I would go.
What about Kofi Mania?
I would probably go Kofi Mania. Just trying to think if there's any more from like. I would personally go last year night one's main event between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair.
That's on my list. Yeah,
that's a good one.
On my list.
And fifth, I would go Savage Steamboat.
Yeah.
So I got Bret Austin as well, and I also have Sasha Bianca. I actually go Austin Rock from 19.
If you know anything about Stone Cold Steve Austin, and obviously now in hindsight knowing that was his last match for 19 years, yeah, I would probably say that's a one that you should put on the list.
I want to hit hard now than ever.
I mean, honestly, anything with The Rock, especially if you know they don't live under a rock.
No
pun intended.
You meant the pun, right? You meant the pun.
Yeah, I didn't mean the pun, dumbass. Of course I did. At the end of the day, if you watch anything in Hollywood, you've seen him, you'll know who he is. So pick your best Rock match, and that's something that you should probably show any person. And if it's 19, if it's 18, if it's the match against Austin at 17, I mean, any of the three of those, or the second match against Cena, not the one where he blew out both of his fucking
New York
legs halfway through the fucking match. Any of the four of those matches are serviceable Rock matches that, again, unless they don't watch television, they'll know who Dwayne The Rock Johnson is.
And you have to put Hogan on right here because of the legacy. Like, that's like the starting. For me, it's the starting point. So here's WrestleMania legacy.
No.
Boom.
No.
Here's
I'm not trying to sell them on going back and watching 39 fucking editions of WrestleMania. I'm trying to get them to actually enjoy what's going on moving
I'm
forward.
trying to spread out the whole love here. That's why I have stuff from recent, stuff from
Hot garbage.
storytelling is important to me. So Hogan, Andre on my list.
So is someone not shitting their pants, and I think Andre did twice. So at the end of the day, buddy, I mean,
that match.
Here's the deal. I look at it, I get what you're saying, but like, to me, if you're showing people WrestleMania matches in the hopes to get them hooked, because that's how I look at this question. You're missing the mark going that far back, because if you go back and you watch those WrestleManias objectively with current eyes, you're awful.
Other than Savage Steamboat.
Absolutely, yeah. And even that one, you're not showing Savage Steamboat to somebody who doesn't know what wrestling is.
No, for sure. That's why I said if it's somebody who's watched a little wrestling and kind of knows about wrestling, I would show them that match. Random person off the street that's like, what is professional wrestling? I'm not showing them anything from the first 10 WrestleManias.
Number one on my list. I think I told Jim this last weekend. To me personally, the greatest WrestleMania match, my opinion, is Bret Austin from 13.
I mean,
that's the one for me personally.
It's fantastic. I don't have it on my list solely because, as great as it is, I think there's too much wrestling to.
It's not a spectacle.
Here's the question.
Right.
Here's the question. And I know all three of you have wives, and they have.
You used to have a wife.
Some of them, yeah, I used to have a lot of things. And, like, Carol, I know, watches wrestling somewhat, but, like...
My wife, too.
A lot. Right. I don't know about Jim's wife.
She will stay in the room for some of it. She's not really, like, in, though.
But when Roman's on TV, she gets an orgasm. Yes, we get it. Go.
Unless it's Gunther.
I say, my wife gets for Gunther, but
Are you serious?
Which I still don't totally understand, but...
Mike, I know Carol a long time across Strowman.
I'm just saying, if you see me in a trench coat and BVDs and this music's playing, get out of the way.
So wait.
Look at the doors.
You heteros. What one match from this past WrestleMania would you show to your wife? If she was like, I really want to see one match.
Roman and Brock. If not that, Becky and Bianca.
Yeah, I'm showing my wife Johnny Knoxville with Sami Zayn because she loves
that match. It's not on the table.
What?
My wife hated that. I told you my wife hated that match.
Well, again, she is wrong.
let me call her and let her know.
I don't know how many times.
No, hold on a second, Jimmy.
Go get her, and I will lie to her. I will not call her wrong to her face. You can go get her. Yeah, he's an idiot. If he thinks I'm actually telling her she's wrong,
really is an idiot. I mean, Jesus
I'll be like, good. You're allowed to have your opinion. And that it's valid, and I won't take it away.
She's pissed.
What? Why is she pissed? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything bad.
First of all.
Oh boy, here we go.
Of all.
Oh.
Don't even get me started on the asshole that is Johnny Knoxville.
Ding.
Okay?
Ding.
That's first and foremost, because I will go off and ramble, because I would love nothing more than to see that jackass of a motherfucker off air in any way, shape, or form. So
Johnny Knoxville
one movie that he did. Second,
it's two.
WWE, from what I'm told, and watching from a mother's perspective, I don't want ass cheeks when there is no ass to even put out there shown when my 8-year-old is watching.
He's 9 now. That's at 12 o'clock.
Sorry, he's 9 now. Or, for that matter, my 5-year-old watching.
I appreciate the caveat, though, that, like, if he at least had a dump truck.
There was no dump truck. There was no dump.
You're just like, it would still be wrong.
Roman,
but
course,
at least.
You fucking have your
look
ovaries fucking checked.
Look it. if it were Roman, okay, and my children are not watching, that's solely for my eyes and my eyes only.
What
Okay?
was me?
You want to watch Roman?
No, see, watch me on the ring of Roman.
What?
No, watch what I was in the ring.
Wow. All right.
If you were
You're
the
an
best
idiot.
guy,
Yeah.
I'd see you in a little sumo thing, sure.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I'd see you completely naked. That'd be fine.
I got marketing there.
But again, my kids would not be watching.
Well, of course not. I see the
Okay?
fucking naked. Come on now.
WWE, from what I understand, is supposed to be family friendly. The entire Jackass crew is not family friendly.
That's valid.
That is valid. That is valid.
Now, for the record, Joe hates Jackass, so me and Joe on the same page.
I hate Jackass.
That
well,
being said, I love the match.
okay? And then, how many times do I have to watch a guy get kicked in the nuts? Why do I need, once is enough.
Big Jim loves Jackass, just for the record.
Well, then you go and watch all the nuts get kicked that you want. Big Jim. I love that you eat popcorn and the snack guy. That's like totally my thing. All right? But Jackass can stay the fuck off WWE. Bing.
Anything else, honey?
I think that's it.
Okay. I'll say a little...
Love you too.
Thanks, honey. Love you. Cameo by Lauren Christian. She put in the credits of the episode.
Can I still say for the record though that her opinion about Johnny Knoxville, the human being, and Jackass crew is different than the fact that match, unbiased, because that's 100% biased, and her reasoning behind it is 100% biased because she doesn't like what Johnny Knoxville does outside of a WWE venue. At the end of the day, that match was one of the top fucking 5 matches of the fucking show. Like, let's take the bias and throw it completely out the fucking window.
I'm with you. I don't like Johnny Knoxville. I agree with him.
Let's be like. But here's the thing: you're bringing in somebody with a biased opinion because they do not like Johnny Knoxville and what his gag of
She's back.
always does.
Oh, wait, Mike, another point. Quickly.
It should not have been in the middle of WrestleMania.
Where would you have put it?
Either in the beginning or in the end. Because now my kid has to stop watching in the middle.
Unfortunately, where it was booked on night number 2, you're not starting with that match because you're not taking Randy Orton and those guys out of the leadoff spot, right. And you're not putting them anywhere near the back because you have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar that should have went another 15 minutes.
So it never should have been there in the first place.
You know, not for nothing, but not for nothing. I feel like she has a point that I don't think anyone's actually thought about. Like, WWE really does lean very hard into the family-friendly aspect now, and Jackass is not family-friendly. Like, it never has been, it never will.
Logan Paul being on YouTube telling people to suck his dick and walking out with a $40,000 Pokemon card is very fucking friendly, too. Also, like, if we're going to call Johnny Knoxville out on it, we need to call Logan Paul out on it, too.
I fully agree with that statement. Logan Paul should be nowhere near WWE. He's a fucking jackass, especially with his Suicide Forest fucking video.
Pun intended.
And his brother's a fucking jackass. So,
Mike agrees.
But I'm saying, if we're calling one out, we got to call them both out.
Absolutely.
I fully agree. I came in being told I was wrong about the Jackass match, so that was where my loyalty lies.
I love you, Dad.
Okay, being mad at the fact that Johnny Knoxville is an idiot and the shit that he does outside of WWE is 100% factual, but the actual, from the time the bell rang to the time the bell rang, the match itself was entertaining.
I love it.
And was a fun break from the seriousness that was night number 2 of WrestleMania.
I think if they had left the guy with the butt cheeks out and the nut kicking out, I might have been okay with it. But consider
how about we take Pontius back, make him keep his pants on, and we take 2 nut kicks back. Would it at least been entertaining?
I can't. I can't not look at it.
I'm sorry, the mousetrap was amazing though. I'm sorry.
I can't look at Johnny Knoxville and be okay with it. Like, I can't. I don't
think your problem with the WWE version is Johnny Knoxville. I think it's Chris Pontius not having pants on, and I think it's them kicking Sammy in the nuts. Johnny Knoxville was out there in a fucking full
Yes.
singlet and pants and a cape. And
No. He was dressed like he was one of the women in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, I agree. I still hate the motherfucker. The same way that I hate Logan Paul, and I don't think either one of them are role models that should be anywhere near WWE.
Ruthless aggression.
I mean, we also had Stone Cold drink an entire 24-pack and then get on
That's
an
another
ATV and
issue
drive
I
that up
have
the
a
ramp.
problem with, and if
Okay.
Ernest, I sat there and said, okay, this is enough already. Like, it just
But the
kept going. I was like, this is enough.
The problem is the 37 beers and then getting on an ATV really shows people that drunk driving is okay whenever you're Stone Cold.
I mean, this is why we don't allow my children to watch that particular era.
That's true. That's era.
So
Though we did watch Austin Rockman.
So the standpoint of the match itself is entertaining. The thing that the person does outside of it, from a perspective of not allowing your kids to watch it and making sure that they're not following in those footsteps, is the problem, not the actual from bell to bell. Like Chris Pontius running around with no pants on, fucked up. Kicking somebody in the nuts a lot, but throwing somebody off of a turnbuckle onto a table full of mousetraps, haha, that was funny. Pinning him with a mousetrap, haha, that was funny, and we moved on from it. So, like, the bigger problem is Johnny Knoxville / Logan Paul, what they do when they're not inside of a WWE ring. Because now that you're talking about these people, now kids that are in the ages brackets of 9 through 13 are probably going to look them up on social media or on YouTube and see things that people do not want them to see.
And the thing is, too, we have a son.
The problem entails it's not the match; it's the people they have filling the whole of the match. If you put another random celebrity in there against Sami Zayn and with The Miz against the Mysterios, this isn't getting the kickback that it is. It's because of what they chose to do.
precisely, you can't claim to be a family friendly thing and then put.
And I think it's harder for us to do because we have a son who actually watches the current product week to week.
Right.
So we're navigating.
That's valid. Like the Kids' Choice Awards isn't having Johnny Knoxville and Logan Paul come out, probably, right?
It's also why AEW. I don't watch AEW. The same reason. It's too adult. They curse on there. They do things that I don't want me looking at this yet.
So next year, let's get Dora the Explorer in, and she can be in Bianca's corner. It'll be great.
Look I was perfectly fine with Bad Bunny. Like,
he was awesome.
Yeah, but
I don't have a problem with that. But that's what I'm saying is it's the people that are there, and I have a son who is interested in the current product and probably looking up the people that are being brought in. And on top of that, he's now in the middle of watching night 2 of WrestleMania, and I've got to be like, oh, sorry, I shield. Like,
and to be fair, and there are plenty of inoffensive celebrities that you can do that with. Like, honestly, almost all of the ones that we named before as potential celebrities for next year kind of fit that. I mean, yeah, Conor McGregor goes out there and he's an asshole half the time and stuff like that, but there's not photos of him on the internet doing blow and fucking your mom. You know what I mean? Like, there's
allegedly
the dick, but he's not out there doing shit like that. He's not out there being Logan Paul.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Thanks, honey.
I mean, also, when it comes to Stone Cold drinking 37 beers, my kids don't know what beer is yet or what it does. So
drunk driving is not.
Oh, he drank the beer after. He drank the beer after he drove the ATV.
But even
he got back on the ATV, buddy. I was there.
I didn't see that part.
My kids are not going to be like, oh, he's drinking alcohol that causes this kind of impairment, so he really shouldn't be on the vehicle.
There's only one role model we can have in wrestling. This guy.
Stop.
Thinking.
That guy did more cocaine than Chris Bowflex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want role models. Let's go with the guy who's snorting coke and doing the boss's daughter, allegedly. That's like saying, hey, let's do HGH and hang ourselves from a fucking Bowflex.
What, the Macho era or Hogan era? I mean,
sometimes, but
yeah, he hates old shit anyway. So, all right, let's move on. Next topic.
I think I just fucked Jim up there.
Can I give my 5 matches? Like,
I apologize. I didn't know you didn't get
Yeah, because you went on a full tyrant and brought your wife in for fucking World War III. Good job, Putin.
What?
Good job, Putin.
Putin. You can call me Putin?
I did.
he definitely did.
Who's not black?
What
Putin's an asshole.
I'm not an asshole, though.
what did I just miss?
Nothing. You're good.
So my 5.
It didn't get to do with 5 matches.
My 5, because I'm looking at this as presenting WrestleMania from the most angles that I can.
Mike, I got a Coke?
What?
I got a Coke?
No.
Fuck.
With a limited specter
Uh-huh.
of what I can offer. So Hogan Rock at 18 without question.
Wow.
The crowd's insane. It's a WrestleMania moments galore. If somebody who's never watched the product is seeing that, they're seeing people react to it, that tells them it's important.
Amazing.
Yep.
Number 2, Daniel Bryan, Batista, Randy Orton to close out WrestleMania 30.
I agree with that.
It's a fast-paced match that has just the most insane crowd reaction when Daniel Bryan gets crowned. Again, it's wrestling, but it tells people it's important. HBK and The Undertaker at 25.
That's the first one, right? The second one.
The first one.
Okay.
Because it's storytelling. It's 2 of the best to ever do it. But from the moment both of their entrances start to the time that match ends, everything about that is 2 guys telling a story and telling you why it's important and why it's a big deal, because it's good versus evil. It's the easiest story to tell.
Yeah.
Seth versus Brock at 35. Because Heyman and Brock hijack the fucking show, tell him, get the fuck out here. We're doing this now. And the guy starts fucking mollywhopping his opponent with a chair before the match even starts, and the thing's over in 2 minutes, and the crowd goes fucking banana. That's going to hook somebody. You show that 5-minute span or whatever it was to somebody. Fuck, even give them the Hulk Hogan, the Alexa Bliss snapping and giving them Hulk Hogan to start, because people are going to know who the fuck Hulk Hogan is. And then the 5th one, and it sounds funny as hell because it came during the pandemic, but show them the fucking Boneyard match, because that shows you how fucking insane the pro wrestling business is, and it's a goddamn movie. Boom. There's my 5.
I like that 5. Not bad. Not bad. Also, there's Metallica on the Boneyard match, too.
God damn it.
Fuck you both. All 3 of you guys. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Love Metallica, but stop it.
What did I do? You gave him shit about Metallica.
Good.
They have one good song. That's what I said.
Wait, what is the song, by the way? You come on. What is the song, Joe?
It's it's the one they did with the symphony.
Rolling Clover?
Yes.
Okay.
The great fucking song.
It's a great song. All right. Last topic. Jim, the guest. Bring it on home.
Wow. So we're not doing my topic this week, you fuck?
We did your topic. We did WrestleMania review, didn't we?
All right, we're moving Cody to next week, guys.
You said that. Right?
I thought we discussed that.
Yeah.
Well, we never had a fucking. We never said okay. We were actually doing it. It was more like, oh hey, Joe's gonna be 10 more minutes. Let's just start the show.
Well,
Well,
now
now suggestion though to move Cody next week.
Yeah, the whole time.
Okay.
I know we were going to get accosted for 15 minutes, but here we are.
You loved it. Shut up.
I was just can she teach my wife how to yell at me like that? I learned something about myself just now. No,
Mhm.
just
All right, fucking relax.
kidding. Similar to what I learned about Sasha Banks in a Sailor Moon costume at Royal Rumble. I did not know that I was into that, but here we are. No. So somebody at my job, like in our like Teams chats and everything, well, somebody always posts like a question of the day. And yesterday somebody said, like, what is one like mystery or secret in life that you would that if you had the option you get the answer to? One thing that's never known. So like some people would be like Kennedy assassination. Some people would be, like people have gone like there's all these mysteries in the world. So I'm like, why the fuck? This is an opportunity if presented this to learn something about wrestling that has always been like a mystery. So, what is a secret or a wrestling mystery that you would like to be revealed?
Mine's easy. I am still fascinated 25 years later. 25 years later. The monster screw job, is it real? Is it a work? What is it? That to me, I am still to this day, if I see something on YouTube related to that, a story behind that, I want to know.
That was the one that I gave on the show, so I'll give a different one when I give mine. But like, yeah, because everybody has their theory.
Oh, Austin.
But
Joe.
God damn it! Don't
Fucking smiling. His asshole smiling.
His asshole is smiling.
Would you like to see my asshole smile? Wait.
No.
Nope, that's a different show and a different time.
Don't get encouraged. Dumb shit like that. Come on.
Follow me on Twitter.
But like everybody has their belief about it. But I'd like to actually know from behind closed doors, 100% truth and honesty from the people who are involved, if it was real or not.
I got one for you.
All right, go ahead.
An asshole? No.
No. I would love to know where the storyline was going when Vince McMahon's limo exploded.
Ooh, thanks, Chris Bowflex.
You know that
You're
they
welcome.
have some sort of direction for that. Like, they didn't just do that and say, we'll figure it out next week. It was going somewhere. And then, obviously, it didn't. And I just kind of want to know where they thought that was going. Like...
Broke Jim.
You did.
Jim's broken. Jim can't be fixed anymore. He's broken.
He's broken, Jim. Delete.
Mike, you fucked him up.
Delete.
Delete.
Remember, it's always sideways when you delete. You don't go vertical.
Don't
Do
do
not
that.
go vertical with your. They are sideways.
It's
Okay.
Delete.
you actually even can go to the low end here. You can
Yeah, you can go down.
chop wood.
Go sideways. You do not go vertical with the delete.
Do not go vertical.
That's
Mike, what's yours?
So I had the same one that Joe did. We talked about this a little bit last night on our drive home from work. There were a couple other ones that I've come up with. Honestly, and we thanks Chris Bowflex.
you will.
I wanted to know because they were really turning him into the main guy on WWECW before everything happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, all things aside with his situation, I would have liked to have known where that was going.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that I come back to is what was the next move for Eddie Guerrero at his untimely passing, because
Ooh, I like that
Chavo
one.
had just turned into Kerwin White.
Right.
They had broken up Los Guerreros. Eddie was kind of doing his own thing. So I kind of have questions on what was the next move for Eddie, because no one's really released that information. Like Bruce Pritchard probably has, like, oh, this was the next 6 months that we had planned for Eddie, but it's just never talked about.
Right.
And those are like, I guess they're not really secrets or mysteries, but it's just like because of untimely things that happen, like what would have been next for the two of them. Because not taking away what Bowflex did, because what he did was horrible, and we decided we're never talking about it on the show. So, but him in ring before all that bullshit was a top 5 professional wrestler.
Correct.
So it's if that never happens, what would have been next? Because
And I mean,
he was someone in ring that I actually really enjoyed.
Here's the deal too, and it's I get it, and I'm never going to try to justify any position besides fuck Chris Bowflex.
Correct.
But like in the amount of time from when that happened to today, we know infinitely more about head injuries and brain injuries and things like that.
Correct.
That weren't known back then. So I truly believe there was contributing factors to what happened.
I would agree.
So again, there's zero justification, but the unfortunate thing for him and his family and all the families and people have impacted by it, and countless others, in a different era, I don't know if we get to that point.
No, exactly.
In a similar way, because again, mine is the Montreal screw job. In a similar way to where you're at, Mike, what would have been the next 3 to 5 years of Owen Hart?
29 years old.
Like Chris Jericho has regularly said how, like, you look at, because Owen wasn't happy in the WWE, like, at the time of his passing, but like look at what like came down the pipeline not long after, Kurt Angle and Ken Shamrock. I mean, Shamrock was already there, but like Radicals, and again, like there was the company changed, and like, man, I think there was such a place for him. And I know they said he was going to retire early, and maybe he does. And if that's the story that ends up getting told, that he retires early and just lives his life as a fireman in Canada, and he's with his family and everything, then that's amazing too.
He should have been a champion before 1996.
Well, yeah. I mean, so there's that one. And I'll also give the one Ryan gave. He goes, he wants to know if there was ever an end game to Raw Underground. Like, or was it literally just some fucking frantic, weird idea that never actually had a payoff?
Another one I have too also is sort of related to the same one in the line. Is like, was there a chance that Brett could have stayed beyond 97? Was it 0% chance he could have stayed?
I mean, I think we know that he would have had to take a pay cut to stay, and he just wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if Vince and the WWE wasn't in the financial position at the time, or whatever side of that story you want to believe, like, I don't see why Brett couldn't have stayed and finished out his career there.
Another one that's interesting that changed the landscape of wrestling that I've thought about, and I didn't tell Joe this one on the way home because I thought about it, is the steroid trial.
Okay.
Who got steroids? Did he get them from McMahon? Did he get them from someone who was on McMahon's payroll? Things like that, because there are a lot of missing pieces, a lot of evidence that just kind of disappeared by the time they went from pre-trial to trial. So that's one that I would like to know, like the secret reveal and the unraveling and all that. And the last one that I've thought of, and this one sucks. It's not fun to talk about this one.
Uh-oh.
And I think the reason why, I want to know the reason why, and that's why that fuck down in Mexico killed Bruiser Brody.
Right.
Like, what was the reason behind that? Like, were you mad because he was going to beat you in a match? Like, was this like the era where it's like, I have to win every match because I'm the greatest luchador in Mexico? And Brody said no. Like, at what point is murdering somebody in cold blood over a fucking result of a wrestling match like the route to go ever?
Right.
No.
Like, I that's just one where it's like, it sucks to talk about because I never got to see Brody live, obviously, because he was dead before I was born, probably, or close to it.
You done 88, so you were born the same year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, obviously, I've only been able to watch clips and stuff like that on YouTube. And he's someone, yeah, he was a little reckless in the ring, and he was a little wild, but fans loved him. And it's just one of the things where it sucks to know that, a la Eddie and Benoit and Owen, like, this guy was reaching the peak of his run, and somebody else's selfish fucking decision caused him not only just to not be able to wrestle anymore, but to not fucking live.
Yeah.
That's the shit that like boggles your brain, and it sucks. Can we also just talk about the mystery of where they get these fucking titles from? Because they're fucking awful. That's the mystery I want to know, because I want to fire whoever that is, but I digress.
Okay.
Oh, I got one.
You got one.
How good would that 8-man tag have been at WrestleMania 10 if it didn't get canceled? We'll never know.
It's true. We will never know.
My final mystery is how long did Vince McMahon not know that Savio Vega was on the payroll before he decided to let go of Savio Vega?
He's just there, dude.
He was always there.
Always
He was always there.
Always there. All right. On that note, Michael, it's time to do the big reveal. Your March, Wrestlers of the Month.
All right. So I'm gonna list off the final vote, and then I'm gonna go through Ernest's, and I'm gonna let you guys enjoy this.
Hold on, Michael. Mine's a secret, though.
No, it's not, bitch. I have the fucking list. It ain't secret no more.
Stop talking fuck my business, man.
Hold on, I gotta go back and look at this because this isn't.
Okay, bro, at 9. Okay.
Well, I can tell you that this much: the wrestler of the month for the month of March was Dolph Ziggler.
I got it right.
Buddy, of course you got it right. You voted him number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
He should be. Underrated.
Why?
NXT champion.
Adam Page retained the AEW World Title against Adam Cole, and you have him 23rd in your ranking or some bullshit. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Here you go. Let's now that we've unraveled Pandora's box, let's go through Ernest's fucking rankings here.
That's why I hate this format, because I forget shit fucking like 3 weeks after the fact.
Number 25, Will Ospreay. 24, Bobby Lashley. 23, Scott Hall. 22, Big E. 21, Adam Page. 20, the team that had the best match at Revolution, Jurassic Express. You know, they retained the tag titles against Red Dragon and the Young Bucks in a fucking banger. Let's put them at 20. Ahead of them, we have Tommaso Ciampa.
Tomato champs.
Pat McAfee, who got announced of having a match at WrestleMania, but didn't actually do anything else except for his job.
But he'll be back.
Etch, because
Edge.
He cut some good promos and turned heel. Jonathan Gresham, who won the Progress title. The Briscoe brothers.
Right? The black guy, right?
The black one.
Okay, cool.
Sammy Guevara 14th, MJF 13th, Bianca Belair at 12th. What did she do this month? Whip somebody with her hair and then missed the last 3 weeks because Becky crushed her throat with a chair?
Becky cut Becky's hair.
But you have Adam Page at fucking 22.
I made a mistake.
Made a lot of mistakes.
This is hard. Dude, I told you, this whole...
Wardlow at 11. Finn Balor. RK Bro.
Okay.
You have Kevin Owens at 8. What did Kevin Owens do this month besides beat Seth Rollins in a match to retain the rights?
Austin Bill was great.
It wasn't the 8th best thing of the month. You're out of your fucking mind.
Tell KO that. To his face.
Okay, it wasn't the 8th best thing in professional wrestling in the month of March. The payoff is the pinnacle of April.
We're getting there next week.
We're going to get there in a minute. Idiot. Jim's favorite wrestler, Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona at 7. 6 is CM Punk. 5 is Carmelo Hayes. 4 is Thunder Rosa. 3 is Brock Lesnar. What exactly did Brock Lesnar do in the month of March except for walk around with a cowboy hat and go, partner?
He also ripped the fucking door for fucking SUV.
I'm glad that this is Wrestler of the Month and not Entertainer of the Month because,
But it's just entertainment. It's all the same, right?
Zero wrestling.
And that ain't a knee slapper, buddy.
He has the Still a Dick at 2, and then he has Dolph Ziggler at 1.
I got one right.
Myself and Joe both had Adam Page at number 1.
Because we're called intelligent people.
Standings, top 10 through the month of March. First place is Brock Lesnar with 59 points. Sammy Guevara is second with 56 points. He is tied with Adam Page for second. Fourth place is Carmelo Hayes. Fifth place is Matt Cardona. Sixth is Braun Breaker. Seventh is Jurassic Express. Ninth is Bobby Lashley.
Bobby!
Thank you.
Ninth, CM Punk. And 10th is Dolph Ziggler.
Bob!
All right, nominees for this month so we can... Nominees for this week. Ernest has declared that he wanted to go first so he could take Bianca Belair, so I've already wrote her name in, so continue.
Did not put Bianca Belair in my list.
I'm gonna
No. Stop. No. Number one, no.
Bitch slap you.
No. I didn't pick Bianca Belair. Number 1 is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay. So anyway, moving on. Instead of going the WrestleMania route, I'm gonna go the route of the real top guys of the weekend, and that is FTR.
Top guys.
At least somebody got it fucking right. I'm writing stuff down.
Mike.
Jim, take my pick.
I will go with the prodigal son returning to WWE, Cody Rhodes.
My answer, asshole.
Well, it's not my fault that you didn't give the right answer the first time.
Wrong, Austin.
All right.
You got a problem with Austin?
All right, no neck. It's on you.
It wouldn't have been my first pick. I don't have a problem with him, but he's not my first pick.
Here.
I can't read anything that says. I think it says that you're a moron.
Bianca, get in there.
There you go.
Oh wow, shocker. Waters wet. Joseph?
I'm going to take the. I mean, yeah, right. You can't ignore it, right? Someone's gonna nominate him, and this forces Ernest to actually. No, wait, Ernest loses his next.
I'm done.
Thing, yeah. I'll give you guys an easy one though, so you can populate this with others. I'm gonna take Roman Reigns.
I'm going to take the guy who walked out of Supercard of Honor, the unified Ring of Honor World Champion. I will take the black guy, as Ernest calls him, Jonathan Gresham.
Mr. Jordan Grace.
Yes.
He is so blessed. I love that, bro.
Jim?
I'm gonna go with a guy who has no business being as good as he is in a professional wrestling ring, and probably has no business being as good as he is on a commentary table, and is also has no business being as good as he is
Michael Cole.
drinking beer, laying on his back on the floor of the AT&T Stadium for one of the greatest GIFs of all time, and that's Pat McAfee.
All right, so that's Patty Mac. Joseph?
What?
Your final selection?
Wouldn't Jim get my last selection? Because I've already done two.
Well, Jim took one of mine and one of Ernest's, so you'll be the only one that gets 3 picks this week.
I love that for me.
He's special.
Did anyone nominate Jonathan Gresham?
Yep.
I did.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't paying attention.
What else is new?
Let's see. Who else did something awesome at WrestleMania?
You did. You didn't sleep.
You know what? Just to piss off Ernest's wife, I'm nominating Johnny Knoxville.
I mean, he was on my short list.
He was on mine too, for the record.
Great. Now I have some fucking thinking to do because there's like.
Okay, look at that.
Oh God, do I do it?
Sammy, I actually have Sammy on her too because Sammy, like I said, what a sport.
It's a pro.
Trying to figure out if I want to do this or not.
I'm gonna try to rank these every week and then this, I guess, try to see.
Oh, that's what I do every fucking week, but you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, I don't know if who I want to take here because there's 3 that are sticking out to me, so that's why I'm.
Take Charlotte Flair. It's easy.
Fuck off. God, do you ask people to piss in your Wheaties?
If it's not, never mind. I had a joke for that. I'm not gonna eat this. It's kind of disgusting. You eat Wheaties though?
You know what? Fuck it. She got her first WrestleMania win. I'm taking Sasha and Naomi.
Oh wow, I like that.
I like that pick.
Wait, so that's split. That split.
No, if you vote them in, both get the same amount of points at the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going back and forth between them, Dakota and Raquel for winning the tag titles, even though they lost them back.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about Mandy Rose, and the last one was Minoru Suzuki winning the Ring of Honor TV title, but I chose to go the Sasha Banks because she got her first WrestleMania win.
Yep. All right.
You mean you didn't want to go with the new NXT Tag Team Champions?
Is that Nash Carter?
Yeah, that was.
That
It
was.
So before we go, because we're at the point where we're going to wrap up. obviously, what's next for the NXT tag titles?
I'd say a tournament. Do a tournament. The NXT does tournaments so well.
They do.
You literally just did the Dusty Classic, though. That's the problem with doing
Do it again.
another tournament.
They also
All right.
have a real lack of tag teams if it's true that Imperium's getting, two-thirds
Well, you-
called up.
They just brought in Pretty Deadly from UK. They debuted this week, so you have them.
Really?
What I would do
Or
is
do a fatal 4-way.
Well, I would go something completely different here. I would almost make someone run the gauntlet. Put 6 teams and make somebody run the gauntlet. Put the Creed brothers, Legado del Fantasma, Pretty Deadly. Who were the tag champs before?
It was Imperium.
But see, that could be the final straw. Imperium doesn't retain. They turn on Eichner, Barthel, and Gunther leave.
I still don't know if I'm buying these. I mean, we're talking.
If they're moving them up, the 2 of them up and leaving Eichner behind, that's the perfect shot to be the final straw to kick him out of Imperium, and the 2 of them go.
I just don't know if I buy it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think I'd go almost like a run the gauntlet match, because you could put a couple of random people together.
Yeah.
Or and like me and you were talking, obviously we don't think that, Wes should be penalized for his partner's idiotic decisions. I said personally that I would have him come out with both tag titles, hand them over to whomever, and whoever he hands them to basically go, we're taking these, but here's your shot. You're now the number 1 contender for Cameron Grimes' North American title.
Yeah, I love that.
And let him go right. Let him see if he can win the North American title. Maybe he doesn't win it, but maybe you have a great match out of it between him and Cameron Grimes, 2 young guys that I think are really good for the NXT division. So, but yeah, that whole situation is kind of fucked up. All of it.
Yeah, I saw a tweet yesterday. It's something along the lines of, like, sometimes in a complicated situation, like, both people are fucked up. And I think it kind of summed it up, look, I don't know who is factual. I don't know what, but I think there's 2 people who need help. That's what I'll say. There's 2 people that need help, and it needs to be done behind. But
she's
not on social media,
right? It needs to be not done on Twitter.
She's a former wrestler too, right? A former wrestler.
She is
a
Impact.
Oh, okay.
She used to wrestle in WWE. She was part of the Mae Young Classic.
Right.
Yeah, it's just that's one of those things that, like, and I'm not trying to silence anyone's voice or to speak on their experience, but when that situation does not need to play itself out right now on social media.
Agreed.
Jim, who was the wrestler of the year this year for you guys? Because I didn't get to listen to that part.
What's
Oh, fuck off, Ernest.
Our show's already out there.
It's not a spoiler. You have to watch it live.
Do live.
It was Matt Cardona, 80 points for the year. Matt Cardona, Roman Reigns, put up a valiant effort at the end. But if you did the math, Matt Cardona had it locked up last week.
It'll be Dolph Ziggler, bro. Okay.
How many did Roman end up with? Like 78?
73, I think. But Bianca did crack the top 10. She actually jumped from 11 to 9 this week and knocked Braun Beaker out.
Beep, 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 beep. All right.
So, yeah,
your shit, Jim.
week, I think next week, 1 or 2 or possibly all of you will be joining us, because Ryan and Matt are away, and then
Where's Matt going?
they're both going to the beach for the weekend.
Beach in PA. Interesting.
They're going to the beach, gonna catch a wave.
They're driving to the
God.
beach at the coast, but whatever. So we won't do any wrestler of the week on our end next week. We're taking a week off before launching the year 2.
Makes sense.
The beach.
Jim, plug your shit.
All right, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports. The show is 3 Count Thursday at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Of course, all podcast platforms. Go to 3countthursday.com. You'll find merchandise. YouTube, all the links there. You can just like Big Mac's shirt right there, the Ricochet. He's still a day. Our only double-sided shirt, by the way. So that's super exciting. And then Huddle Up Podcast as well. Facebook, Twitter at Huddle Up Podcast. We have our merch and everything. Just hit
I
the
get a
link.
free shirt.
What's that?
I got a free shirt.
No, you can buy a shirt, you
Hey,
dick.
fuck you. I'm part of your Patreon.
Buy a shirt, asshole.
I bought one.
I know you
Giving
did.
shit away.
Hey, I pay $2 a month for your fucking Patreon. Fucker.
But it ain't free 99.
Yeah, and we give you fucking content every week. So eat a dick. That's what you get. We don't give you.
Oh,
We're not
wait,
giving away free shit.
Joe, don't
Jeff,
get excited.
Did you wish Clay Travis happy birthday yesterday?
Nobody invited me to eat it, dick.
Like Travis is a dick.
What the fuck, bro? So rude. Fuck.
Damn right I am. Huddle Up Podcast. Check us out. All podcast platforms. Just find the link tree in our social media.
Hey, wait. Before we go. Discussions with a nobody. What's going on with that? What we doing?
I gotta.
You need me on the show one time? You need me doing the show?
We need to do another fucking show.
It's gonna get. Yeah, you don't need. Nobody needs to hear you talk more.
True.
No, it'll get relaunched here at some point. What I need to do is I need to just
Do
record
it.
a bunch of episodes in the
Do
can.
it.
I need to get some episodes in the can and actually just do it.
Do it. Do it.
I agree. Do it in the can.
I would say, Joe, plug your shit, but you're never on Twitter anymore.
He is. It's just under a different alias.
I'm not even gonna plug myself.
Oh, hey, I feel like I really made it because someone I used to hook up with in Maine all the time messaged me the other day on Facebook and was like, dude, I saw you on Pornhub. So, like, that's a thing.
I understand how anal works.
Thanks, Ryan.
See, like you never even need to like have the other guy. Well, especially Ryan. I have plenty of Ryan sound drops, but
Ryan
you don't need to have him on the show. He's just always here.
It's big. It's enormous.
You can follow me at They Call Me Bird on Twitter. You can follow the show at Take3 Wrestling. Also, if you're local to the South Florida area and want to listen to a podcast about our men's baseball league, I launched that one. You can find that at Sunny Days and Double Plays. I don't have any social media for that yet, but it's coming. So, other than that, Ernest, plug your shit so we can go the fuck home.
You get a rib job too.
You are home.
Buddy, bring the fucking show home, you dumb fucking.
EJ Christian.
How many trash bag?
EJ Christian 7 on what? On Twitter. Yes.
Twitter.
If you're not spreading your butt cheeks, I don't want to look.
Earnestly podcast, of course, all podcast catchers. We just did a watch along me and Jim on the Hogan Rock match from 20 years ago. I'm gonna put that out this weekend. Actually a fun time. And
I'm gonna follow it in.
What'd you say?
I'm gonna swallow it in.
That's it. I'm done. God bless you guys.
And you suck the little thing out.
All right, I'm done. Love you guys.
Okay, bye.
See you tomorrow at work, buddy. Later. Good night. I'm gonna sleep now. See you here. Hi. I'm gonna sleep.